So I've heard about this incident before, but as I delved deeper, I was speechless. Look, we're used to seeing people get crazy online, okay? A quick interaction on Twitter or Reddit with any fandom is gonna be very clear about that. But thankfully, for the most part, people keep their grievances online, alright? Not this time though, because a man showed up with 2 different knives from another city intending to murder the 2 co-founders of the company behind Genshin Impact, MiHoYo. And the worst part is the motive behind all this. It could not be dumber than this. This story is so crazy that it was picked up by practically every single gaming outlet there is. I mean, look at how many. But this incident didn't happen randomly. There were many different things that led up to it. So at this point, you might already feel shocked over how deranged this is, but trust me, once we delve deeper into the context, it'll get way worse. So get ready. This is gonna be a roller coaster. Guys, just like gacha games, there are too many browsers out there and too many of them lack the excitement I'm looking for. This is why I'd like to thank Opera GX for sponsoring this video, baby. Here we are in a freshly installed browser. First things first, we're gonna do what matters the most, customization. Look at this beautiful wallpaper. We're gonna install it. It's so simple. Immediately installs. Listen to that calming music. Now look at this. Opening a tab has a sound effect. And then closing a tab has a sound effect. Is that crazy? Even typing has a sound effect. And this changes per theme. In fact, I can turn on and off individual aspects of the theme like background music, keyboard sounds, the wallpaper itself, the theme itself, and the browser sounds. This is called the GX mod, and there are so many others available on the store, and they're all amazing. And if you go to your settings and click on Get More Wallpapers, you can get the wallpapers by themselves. Now, personally, I'm gonna... I love older women. I just love older women, but this also looks beautiful. Now let me talk about my favorite feature, the video pop-out button. If you're watching anime or any video, all you have to do is go up and click on the pop-out button. That way you can watch what matters while you play the game that matters. Hell yeah. But I know what you're thinking. You don't want to start over, that's fine. Go to the settings on the left and then scroll down until you reach synchronization. Once you do that, click on Import Bookmarks and Settings. This will allow you to import everything from any of these browsers. After selecting the browser, all you have to do is select what you want to import, and once you do that, you just select the import button. And here we are. These are all my personal bookmarks. They're blurred so I don't leak my entire identity. If you're interested in the browser for gamers, click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get yourself an awesome browser today. Now here's the deal. MiHoYo has not always been as huge as they are today. In fact, one can say they truly went mainstream when Genshin Impact released back at the end of 2020. Before this, they weren't really very well known within the Western hemisphere of the world. Their influence was mostly centered in Asia. And what truly started this influence was Honkai Impact 3rd. This game put them on the map, so to speak, before Genshin Impact brought them to the mainstream. And this just so happens to be the game centered around this crazy incident. So look, you know the drill. When a game releases globally, there's a version that everyone plays, and then there's a version Chinese players play, okay? Now yeah, of course, there's game regions like Europe, North America, whatever, but this isn't about regions, nor is it about localizations. The game Rainbow Six Siege from Ubisoft did it differently though. They didn't want to make 2 versions, so they just censored the already existing version before going to the Chinese market. And that caused a lot of backlash. I mean, look at these changes, dude, this is ridiculous. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because one of the main roots of this incident is the adversity between the global servers and the Chinese servers both getting different kinds of content. Now typically Chinese companies, especially in the gacha space, are going to have collaborations. Let's take the example of Genshin Impact. The majority of Genshin Impact collaborations are in China, not available globally. Now yeah, sure, there's been global collaborations like Razer or Prime Gaming, but that's about it. But in China, they go with anything from Pizza Hut to Samsung to Xiaomi to Cadillac, bro. Cadillac! And this isn't just some like marketing collaboration. No, it goes way deeper. This is just so funny to me. Like, you have the prices, you have the units, like they literally painted Cadillacs with Genshin characters, a full-on collaboration, and on top of this, you get in-game rewards for buying the car. 20,000 Primogems, 100,000 Mora, some bundles. It is a furniture item if you bought a Cadillac, bro. China has a completely different meaning of what a collab means, okay? And of course, all of these things are exclusive only to Chinese players. They are on a different server playing a different version of the game. This leaves global players thinking, man, it'd be nice to get something for once, but other than just asking MiHoYo occasionally, there's nothing crazy that happens. Now, in the life cycle of a gacha game, anniversaries are extremely important. Players expect so much from you. And this makes developers very nervous, because we've seen examples where it went well, but we've mostly seen examples where it went horribly wrong. With how Genshin, for example, on their first anniversary, players were so disappointed they took down the entirety of Google Play Store, okay? Now, when it comes to Honkai Impact 3rd, here's what you have to understand. There are no males, okay? This is a purely female game. There are only women. They cater to a very specific kind of demographic. So what served as the catalyst for an incident so crazy that its climax ended with an assassination attempt? For Honkai Impact's 3rd anniversary, MiHoYo did something unprecedented. Instead of giving everyone the same thing while giving China something a little extra, they decided to inverse it. But not just in any way, they went all out and released this video exclusively for the global audience, where a bunch of characters, some of the most popular from Honkai Impact 3rd, are dressed up in bunny suits dancing. Now please bear in mind, okay, these are not in-game skins. This is just merely a music video, and the in-game event is centered around it, okay? Remember this for later, it'll make the whole incident even crazier. As soon as this came out, and I'm not even kidding, as soon as this came out, the Chinese internet erupted. The whole point of this event was to reward the global audience by giving them something special. And it also couldn't be implemented in China due to the strict rules around video games and sexualization. To a lot of Chinese people, a bunny outfit signifies someone being a whore or a prostitute. The loudest voices online were saying that this was insulting as they were pandering to Western fetishes using their favorite characters. But for MiHoYo, this was the least of their worries, because many players were making this out to be a national patriotism issue, saying that they're a betrayer and that they should pick a side. Okay? You're already kind of seeing how crazy it's getting, and we're only getting started. Now look, I want to be clear. I don't want to sit here and say that this was the entire Chinese Honkai Impact 3rd community. In fact, there's this thread by a Chinese player that gives us a glimpse of how complex this is. At first, Chinese players were sad that this wasn't going to be included in their region. But then all of a sudden you saw this new breed of players that just hated MiHoYo and wanted to see the company die. He theorizes that they could be bots hired by rival companies. Hey man, Chinese internet is the Wild West, what the hell? But in the end, it didn't matter. The wildfire had started and nothing was stopping it. And this was a big problem, because behind the scenes, MiHoYo was starting to fucking panic, okay? Why, you ask? Well, it's simple. They were having flashbacks. 2 years prior to the Bunny Girl incident, there was another incident, the first of its kind, also involving the Chinese community. That incident was more simple. It didn't involve any assassination, thankfully, but it did involve the Chinese government. It all started with a player, not this guy, a Chinese player saving up money to buy a skin for his favorite character, the Frigid Empress costume. So for this player on Reddit, as you can see, it took them around $50 to get the skin. That's not cheap. But the Chinese player saved up for it anyway because it's a skin for his wife. You simply wouldn't understand. But hey, he was happy. That's until MiHoYo released another skin for the same character and announced that it won't cost a penny. It'll be totally free to all players. There's not a single person on this planet who dislikes free stuff unless you're that Chinese player. Because to him, he had saved up money to get a skin for his favorite character. And all of a sudden, everyone can get a skin for that character for free. So what did he do? Did he just delete his account, uninstall, touch grass? Of course not. He filed an official report to the Cyberspace Administration of China. Why can't certain people just be fucking normal, man? The Cyberspace Administration pretty much monitors everything that goes on online in terms of digital content. The report in itself, from what I understand, was about how right here, under the skirt, this was a bit too suggestive. And on top of this, the report was about the bikini skins that were available in the game. Now look, they're illegal in China, but they were in the game anyway. He fucking snitched! This resulted in these skins not being available anymore unless you claimed them way back then. If you make an account now, you're not gonna get them. They're not in the game anymore. And it also resulted in some censorship surrounding the skin. Now, Chinese people did not approve of this at all. This was one bad apple that ruined the fun for everyone. There was even a post made about this on Bilibili, which is the Chinese equivalent of YouTube. And the reply to the top comment, okay, is someone pretty much saying, this is all his game info, report him. Here's a really bad translation. Just everyone's welcome to report him. Go ahead, you know? They also doxed him and bullied him off the internet. Just like this top reply on the thread said, this kid has some issues. Let's bully him together, folks. But this ended up putting MiHoYo under the microscope of the Chinese government, something you don't want at all. So going back to the bunny girl incident, this was doing the same thing, in a way. In China, no matter what you do, you don't want to disturb the peace, alright? So if online, there's a bunch of people saying that your company's anti-Chinese, and you're rallying discontent, threatening to disturb the peace, buddy, that's a big problem. So, hey man, immediately they took this video off Bilibili straight up and posted an official statement, which was pretty much an apology on Twitter. They removed anything that has to do with the anniversary event with bunny girls in it. They adjusted the art that they made in-game for it. And finally, they gave compensation of 500 crystals, which is worth like such a measly amount of money. It's like under $10. This was a huge middle finger to anyone that was non-Chinese as a player playing Genshin Impact 3rd. What started as a nice gesture ended in disaster. And on top of this, okay, on top of this, the 500 crystals were insulting, especially because Chinese players, from what I understand, received 5 times that amount. So if you were a Chinese player that was pissed at this, listen, you got an apology and you got a lot of free stuff. If you're a global player though, you just realized you will never have nice things. Wait, actually, what are the hidden comments? It was the Chinese Honkai players. Chinese players hated that video. Congrats, Chinese. You ruined a piece of entertainment that it wasn't even for you. This is fucking stupid. Why not release it for just global then, since we love our waifus unlike other servers? I wonder which one you're talking about. All good. Sure, it will be uploaded plenty more after this. What's this? Oh, wow. Oh, wow! They removed the bunny girl re-upload. Holy shit. It's actually crazy how they didn't even use like a third-party person to remove it. No, it just straight up says MiHoYo removed it. Damn. That's sad to see because I really love the bunny outfits. That's literally just him posting the video. And he got his comment hidden. That is crazy. So as you see, this caused a big anti-China sentiment for the global servers. And they were pretty damn pissed at MiHoYo too. But MiHoYo was willing to deal with it as long as back home everything was fine. And as far as they were concerned, this was it. The controversy was behind them, and they avoided another oversight by the Chinese government. Or did they? Because not even 2 days afterwards, okay, on April 24th, a news article comes out on Baidu saying, it is said that the suspect, this is his name, was dissatisfied with the overseas promotion of MiHoYo company and wanted to wait for an opportunity to come to Shanghai with a knife to kill the 2 founders of the company. And then planned to commit suicide by jumping off the building. So bear in mind, this wasn't just a murder plot. This was a murder-suicide plot. It's that crazy. At his temporary residence in Foshan City, the suspect searched the identity and the photos of the 2 founders of the company on the internet and purchased 2 controlled knives, curved blades, about 9 centimeters long, sharpened through the internet. However, he was arrested on the spot at MiHoYo Company Park. It's crazy. He wasn't even a Shanghai resident, okay? He came to this city and genuinely thought this was gonna work. He was gonna kill the 2 founders of the company and then just jump off. And you have to understand, MiHoYo isn't just some random developer in China, all right? This is one of the most sought after employers in the entirety of China. I mean, Asia too, globally even. They have offices in LA, for example. But this campus in Shanghai is akin to going to the HQ of Ubisoft in Paris or sneaking into the Riot Games campus in LA. This isn't like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. So as I said in the beginning of the video, when players are pissed, they make it known online, sometimes leading to even harassing the developers, unfortunately. But here, all it took was a bunny girl video. This was just a promotional video. This is what's insane. It wasn't even a skin. They didn't even release anything in game. They just released a music video with a small event centered around it. And this was somehow enough, okay, for someone to take up temporary residency in Shanghai, buy 2 knives, sharpened, and come up with a plan that includes his suicide and the murder of 2 people. For what? Honestly, it's one of the craziest things to come out of this industry. Period. You tell anyone who plays Honkai Impact 3rd, you just say the sentence, Bunny Girl Incident, you will see in their eyes the 1,000-yard stare, okay? The 1,000-yard stare, because they know, hey, that was an incident. So what was the aftermath? Well, you know, the global players were definitely shocked at seeing what happened in terms of the assassination attempt, but it didn't change the fact that they still got a huge middle finger. Many players were looking forward to punishing Grey Raven, a game that was meant to compete with Honkai Impact 3rd and that many people were hyping up. It didn't really meet their expectations. And unfortunately, it released too late in the West because a year before it released in 2020, Genshin Impact had already come out and people were loving it. So then what did miHoYo do? They did a crossover, Genshin X Honkai Impact, where official a Genshin character, as well as Kaching, yeah, her in the back, were brought into Honkai Impact 3rd. And things definitely calmed down by then. One could even say they went back to normal. But normal doesn't mean good. The Honkai Impact 3rd community, especially in China, has always been a hot topic. Because while Global have their issues with the game, China has completely different issues. And you can kind of see the sentiment on the Baidu article that first revealed the assassination attempt. The majority are against it, saying things like, not worth it. But there are some supporting him, saying things like, brave, thumbs up. So this might explain that the Bunny Girl incident wasn't the disease, it was the final symptom before it blew the hell up, and man did it blow up. And that's how it all somehow led up to the failed murder-suicide plot of the two co-founders of the studio behind Genshin Impact, all over a Bunny Girl costume. Make sure to subscribe for Bunny Girls and check out the sponsor, why not? It's a cool browser. Join the Discord to talk with truly unhinged individuals, but don't worry, they wouldn't murder anyone over skins, and follow my Twitter to see the thoughts of someone deranged. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!